Bob West, and this is Studio 7 on YouTube West, and I've got my Navy hat on today, and why? Because we're going to talk about a 1963 movie, so it was done the year I was born. That ages me. And this movie is a biographical drama of an event in history that becomes a legend, and that legend is PT 109. Now, PT 109 is the story, in this case, of John F. Kennedy, who is destined for great things in everybody's mind, obviously. But at this point in time, he's a Naval Reserve officer operating on a PT boat, roughly 80 feet long, in the Pacific Theater of Operations during World War II. And during the movie, I will tell you right now that the ship is sunk, and it's up to John F. Kennedy as the commander of his boat to get his crew home and get them home safely. And to do this, he has to endure some great perils, but he manages to get it done. And this is the stuff that legends are made of, and it's probably one of the things that helped make him president of the United States, which is what most of you will remember him for. This movie is incredible, and it stars Cliff Robertson as John F. Kennedy, and it's one heck of a job to have him in that movie. It also has Ty Hardin, James Gregory, Robert Culp, and Grant Williams. And a lot of you people are going to go, who are these guys? Doesn't matter. What matters is the story. That's what matters. What I can tell you about these guys is that Robert Culp becomes one of the greats in television. James Gregory is one of the greats as well, and he manages to stay alive in television all the way into the 80s and 90s in shows like Barney Miller. Ty Hardin has been floating around Hollywood during that time, and Grant Williams, I don't know really well. There is a very young Robert Blake in this movie, and his name has appeared in the papers on and off for various good reasons and bad reasons. But it's a stellar group of individuals. It is a World War II movie, so there's some action sequences, some fighting sequences, and the life of a PT boat officer and crew is pretty well displayed. It's not as displayed as well as it is in another movie called They Were Expendable. That movie stars Robert Montgomery and John Wayne. But it is depicted very well. It explains some of the work and some of the feelings that you go through during a World War II environment, something that you'd have to deal with if you've ever had to face command. And that could be a lonely and a very hard thing, but sometimes you just have to get it done. This movie is a 7 out of 7 production. It was produced by Bryan Foy. It was directed by Leslie Martinson. And the music's by David Burrell and William Lava, and I don't know either one of those two, but I can tell you that the score itself is fantastic and it rounds out the film. The dialogue is excellent. The acting is stellar. And because at the time they didn't use green screen, everything's real. Now, what isn't real is the PT boat. I will tell you that right now. It's an 80-foot ASRC, or Air Sea Rescue Craft. And probably only a few of us would probably notice that at a distance. But it's pretty hard to find a running PT boat to do a movie even after World War II because a lot of them are burned. And if you want to visit one today, might I suggest in Oregon or at the National World War II Museum in the PT 305 exhibit, or at Battleship Cove, Fall River, Massachusetts, to see the PT Boats Inc. boat there. All of them are wonderful. They're nice to see. They are preserved for us to learn about World War II and its history and some of the vehicles and vessels that fought in it. I dig this movie. One thing I can tell you is it's got, well, the film director, the cinematographer in this movie is called Robert Surtees. And Robert Surtees is a legend in Hollywood. He worked on things like The Great Escape. So you get that panoramic view and you get that feeling of emptiness that the Pacific Ocean can give you. The movie runs 140 minutes long, so it's a little over 2 hours, and it's worth every minute of it. It is a 7 out of 7 production. The movie, an excellent World War II drama, PT 109, is available anywhere on download and sometimes on YouTube and Netflix. For Studio 7, I'm Bob West.